What's up everybody, welcome back to the channel. So today I wanted to do an unboxing and initial review of a new high-spec Windows-based tablet that I just picked up. So I wanted a Windows-based tablet that was high-spec and had a rugged build to it so that I could use it in an outdoor situation without worrying about breaking it. So without further ado, let's jump in and let's check out the new Windows-based rugged tablet. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about this new rugged tablet, and this is not just your ordinary basic tablet. This is a little bit more of a computer that people can use for a variety of different things, such as your basic game playing, social media, internet surfing, online shopping, and so forth. But this tablet is also capable of doing some heavy workload as well. Take the top off. Looks like we have our instruction manual here on how to use it. Let's take the tablet out of the middle. We'll set that aside. And underneath, looks like we have some accessories here. Let's see here, looks like to be the power charging cord. We'll set that aside. Looks like we have some type of like holding device that mounts to the back of the pad so that you can kind of stick your hand under it and hold it while you're using it. Looks like you have your charging cords and a stylus pen, which is nice as well. And now let's go ahead and take the wrapping off of this heavy duty rugged tablet. Now right out of the gate, I can automatically feel the weight of this tablet. Feels like a very high quality tablet. And it's a nice size, and it definitely is a little bit thicker than your average tablets. So it allows you to get a good grip on it, and it feels really good. It has a nice rubberized texture around the outer parameter, so it allows you to get a good grip on it. It looks like it has a handle here that you could probably take off. So you could take it off or leave it connected, and it counts as like a little bit of a carrying handle like that. So taking a look at the top buttons here, it looks like you have your volume down and volume up buttons. This P button is more of a programmable button that you can program to whatever you really want it to that's allowable through the system. You have your power button that turns the tablet on and off. And then you have this function button, which I imagine allows you to access other functions that this tablet is capable of doing. If we look around the side, over here on the right side, there's little doors that you can access here by picking up on them with your finger, like that. This one here, when you open it up, it looks like an Ethernet style cable here. So if you need to plug in to an Ethernet cable or some type of internet cable, that's capable of that. This one here, these little caps are on, they're nice and tight, but this one here looks like you have your computer cable that you can plug this into your computer or a computer monitor. So you have that capability as well. Okay, on the bottom over here, this is going to be your pogo pin, which is basically used if you're adding this to some sort of a dock. So if you had like a docking station, you would sit this in there and the pins would line up and allow you to access your tablet that way. But that's primarily used for a docking charger or some type of docking car mount. If you go on the other side of the tablet here, you have more options over here. So over under this door here, you're going to have your charging port here, which is where you're going to plug in your power cord for charging it. Under this little door here, it looks like it has a USB Type-C and a USB port there. And then under this door over here, looks like you have more of like a mini HDMI and a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. So it has a good bit of ports available on this tablet. On the front here, this is a full touch screen, high definition screen with corner to corner Gorilla Glass, which is going to be very rugged. So if you do ever happen to, let's say, drop this, or you're working in an outdoor, harsh environment, this should hold up really well to drops and scratches and bumps and so forth. It does have a front camera here, which is 5 megapixels, and it does have an indicator light up here too. If we flip the tablet over onto its back side, now on these little corners over here, these little corners are what's called anti-wrestling. These anti-wrestling corners should help protect your tablet from any kind of damage from your basic drops. Down here, it's this little square right here indicated by this fingerprint. This is an actual fingerprint sensor. So if you want to set up your tablet using a fingerprint as an extra form of security, you could go ahead and set that up, which is really cool to have on a tablet. Up here is going to be your speaker, which is a small waterproof box speaker. So we'll have to test that out and see how it sounds later. Over here behind this door is a removable 5 million amp battery, which to unlock it, you're going to use this switch here, slide it over to the unlock position, slides to the left, and then you're going to basically use your fingernail to get under there and lift this out, and there is your rechargeable battery. So even if you went online and purchased more of these batteries, you can always swap the batteries out when you're out and about and you need the extra power for your tablet. Another thing I'm going to mention while we're in here, so you could use a SIM card or a TF card to plug in under here if you need to connect this tablet to the internet and you have an active SIM card that you can stick in here, you can use that as well. Another function on the back of this tablet is your 8 megapixel camera right here. And then you also have what's called a scan engine, which is right here, which is more for scanning barcodes. So if you are using this tablet in more of a business setting and you need to use this to scan barcodes, you can use that as well. So let's go ahead, get our battery plugged back in. Again, we're going to drop it in to the left, slide it to the right, lock it in, and we're good to go. Okay, so to turn it on, you're basically going to take your power button here and hold it down. You can see your indicator light turning on. Okay, so at this point, it's just loading up. Here's some tech support information here, email, phone numbers. So again, if you have any questions or need tech support, here's the information listed there. This is the first time turning it on, so it might take a couple minutes to load up. And then I assume we're going to have to connect to the Wi-Fi, and we might even have to do a couple updates to the software to keep it running nice and smooth, but we'll get into that here shortly. Okay, so real quick, we're just gonna go ahead and install this holder on the back. You basically are going to take these little metal clips right here and clip them in, okay? And they have a stretchy material here, so you can pretty much just put those clips into the corners like that. You pretty much have to just kind of stretch it out, tuck it over there. Just like this. Is you can put your hand back here, you can hold it on the back like that, but you can also put your stylus pen in here as well. Just like that, and everything's nice and organized. So basically this tablet acts like a Windows PC, but in a tablet form. So you have your app store here that allows you to go in here and look for different apps and different programs and things like that. And again, you have all of these apps that you can use, whether it's games or music and entertainment. There's all kinds of video programs in here, such as Netflix and Hulu and Disney Plus and Prime Video and Apple TV and all of that. So again, there's all kinds of collections in here. You can go over here and hit your apps and get into further social media and productivity apps and so forth. So again, we're gonna X out of that. Again, it's just like any other computer. You have full access to your files. So if you wanna go into your files, access any kind of documents or files that you may have saved. Maybe it's pictures, maybe it's work documents, maybe it's downloads, it has your desktop. It has basically everything that a Windows PC would have, but again, in a tablet form. Let's go to, say, YouTube. Okay, click on YouTube. Okay, so as you can see, this is my YouTube website here. Again, you have full access to, again, all of your videos, whatever you want to use. Again, it's a fairly snappy processor here. It goes pretty quick. Like I said, if we just click on a video just to see how it loads.
Ensure your passion.
It's not the loudest speaker, but it's fairly loud. You can hear it pretty good. You can definitely watch movies and YouTubes and hear what's going on. But again, you can see the clarity of this screen is pretty good. I mean, it's definitely a high definition screen, but again, the sound works good. The video sounds pretty good. The snappiness of the processor seems to work pretty good. Let's see if we can find Netflix or something like that. There it is. So let's go to Netflix. Okay, we'll install Netflix. Okay, pretty quick. Let's hit open. There you go. So again, I can sign into my Netflix. I can watch movies on here. Now let's get out of here real quick. Let's go into our settings. Okay, so just like any other computer, you have all of your settings in here. You know, you got your home, system, Bluetooth, and devices. If you want to go to Bluetooth and devices, you can add devices like a Bluetooth keyboard or maybe a Bluetooth mouse. If you're going to be using this on a dock, sort of like a computer, you could do that. Network and internet, you have personalization. So you have pretty much all of that. If we go to Windows Update, okay, looks like you're up to date, so that's good there. So again, you can always go in here and set up your updates to be automatic and check for updates however you want. So again, for a tablet, it's actually pretty powerful for what it is. Again, it's a Windows PC in a tablet form. So obviously you're not going to be able to get the same exact experience from a higher end Windows desktop or laptop in a tablet form, but you still pretty much have everything you want to use or need to use in this tablet form. And again, this tablet here is a rugged tablet. It's a great tablet to use out on the job site, and you have programs and Excel spreadsheets and different things like that that you need for productivity out in the field. It's great for that. Okay, so let's just look for the camera. Let's search for that and click on there and type in camera. Here's the camera app, hit yes. And there you go. So we have a front-facing camera right here. Okay, the front-facing camera, again, is only 5 megapixels, but it's still probably perfectly good for like Zoom meetings and things like that. If we switch it around, just grab a pamphlet here so you can kind of see. So again, it's an 8 megapixel camera, so it's not going to be the highest end camera setup for a tablet because there's other tablets out there that might have higher megapixel cameras. But let's be honest, most people typically have their phone with them, which has a much better camera. So a lot of tablets are not always used for cameras. So my overall impressions of the camera setup on this, it's not bad. There are much better camera setups out there, but for a rugged tablet, you're primarily using it for the programs, not necessarily the camera. But if you're already invested in the Windows platform, maybe you have a Windows desktop or maybe you have a Windows laptop and you want to stay with that Windows platform because maybe you're not an Apple or an iOS person, then this tablet would be a great option so that you have everything that you normally would have on your laptop, but on a much smaller, form-fitting, portable device, but still gives you full access to everything else. And another thing that's cool is when you're holding it in a horizontal fashion like this, everything adjusts. But if you turn it vertically and tilt it up a little bit, everything goes vertical like that. Okay, so just to go over a few basic features of this tablet. Again, this is running Windows 11 Pro. It is running the latest Intel N5100 processor, which allows you to actually run a lot of higher end programs on here, such as Google Earth Pro, AutoCAD, and different programs like that. Now, I don't have AutoCAD to show you, but we could always just try out basic Google Earth and see how it responds to that here shortly. Again, it has 8 gigabytes of RAM and 128 gigs of storage, but based on the operating system and the programs that are on here, that'll chew up some of that storage right out of the gate, so just be aware of that. The overall outside build of this tablet is very rugged. It's built and certified, ensuring that this work tablet can withstand impacts and drops within 4 feet. So that's always great for those of you that are using this out at the job site, because again, let's face it, when you're out at the job site, sometimes things can fall off the table or fall off the tailgate of your truck. So again, this rugged tablet is meant to withstand drops of up to 4 feet because of its rugged build. And this is also IP65 rated. So it means that if you drop it in the water or you get caught out in the rain with this, you're probably fine. This does have a built-in GPS system in here. So if you're using this tablet for GPS purposes, it'll function with that. This does have dual band Wi-Fi technology built in, as well as Bluetooth 5.1. So again, those are pretty high-end specs for a tablet like this. Okay, so I just turned off my camera light so that we're not getting as much light reflection on the screen, in hopes that you could see the screen a little bit better. But let's go ahead and try out, let's say, Google Earth. So again, the internet seems to work really good. Everything seems to be pretty smooth. Let's load up Google Earth. Now again, I'm just using the internet-based Google Earth. I didn't even go into the App Store to look for an app. So let's just type in something. Let's try Disney World. Let's Exit off of all of these. You can see it looks pretty good. It's very clear. Very, very snappy. Again, I'm zooming in and out and I'm not getting really any lag. Feels really good. Very responsive. So I like that. Okay. Now let's see if we can find. Okay. And there seems to be the castle. So let's just see if we can keep zooming in and see how close we can get. I mean, we're literally on top of the castle right now, if you could see that. So again, pretty cool how good this is working. And again, the zoom function works really well. Let's try a 3D look. There you go. So again, you could zoom in, you could spin around the park. So again, if you're using this tablet for GPS or mapping services or whatnot, this seems to work pretty good. I mean, it's very fluid, very intuitive. There's very little lag, feels really good. So overall, I'm pretty happy with how it's responding to Google Earth, which Google Earth is an app that has a lot of rendering. So again, for this to be this intuitive on an app like this, I'm pretty happy with that. So let's try something else. Let's try maybe Google Maps. Let's just stick with Disney and let's try Magic Kingdom. So there you go. So it seems to work pretty good. Again, very little lag, feels really good. Drop down to a street view. So you can see it's working really well. So yeah, no complaints there. It seems to be pretty good there, so I'm pretty happy with that. Let's say you want to run something like ESPN, which I tend to use this type of year for fantasy football and things like that. Again, I just pulled up the ESPN app and everything seems to load and look really good. Very fluid, very little lag, feels pretty good. We can go into my fantasy football. Have all my players. So again, everything loads up pretty good. Pretty happy with all of that. So again, why did I choose this tablet? Well, I do have a Windows laptop, but it's a lot bigger, and I don't always like to carry it around outside because, again, it's a very delicate laptop and it's a little bit more expensive, so I don't like taking my laptop like out in the garage or outdoors. So I wanted a Windows-based tablet that I could still use to run certain programs, such as the OBD Wiz, which is a program I use to connect to my truck's OBD2 port so I can manage the computer system in my truck. I also have a YDS Yamaha Diagnostics app on here so that I can tap into my boat's engine and read diagnostic codes on that. So I wanted a Windows-based tablet that was pretty powerful enough to run a lot of these programs, but in a much smaller form factor that's rugged and waterproof, and that's what I got with this tablet. So let's go outside real quick. Let's try a couple of these apps over here that I use on a regular basis. So one of the benefits that I like to use this tablet for is because of how convenient it is to throw it in my truck if I'm reading any diagnostics code in my truck using the OBD link. I already downloaded the software on the tablet, so now I can actually come in here and read any kind of diagnostics codes that I have on my truck. And if I need to read or research any of the codes that might come up, I could do that right here. And as you can see right here, I don't have any pending codes, but I can also go under monitors and monitor different things like that. I can go into dashboards and monitor different things like that. I can go into a logbook and log different things there. So having a program like this installed on a powerful tablet that is Windows based is definitely very convenient for a lot of people that are using programs that are Windows based but don't want to haul around a large cumbersome laptop. All they got to do is carry this Windows based tablet around and they can download their programs to this tablet. So again, when it comes to downloading diagnostic applications that are Windows based, this tablet does a pretty great job. Okay, and another reason I like this tablet is for when I'm working on my boat and I need to actually tap into the engines on this boat and read any diagnostics codes there. I could definitely do that because, just set the tablet down here, I took the YDS program from this USB stick, plugged it in the side, downloaded the application like I would my laptop, and now I have the same software that I use on my laptop on this portable tablet, and it works just as good. And now I could easily just carry this around, which is a lot more convenient to carry compared to a very large, cumbersome laptop. So again, I find it very convenient to use this tablet when running the diagnostic software for my truck and for my boat. But for now, I have a powerful, convenient to hold tablet that could do the same job as my laptop, but again, a lot smaller and a lot easier to use, and I really like it overall. Okay, so there you go. So my overall impressions of this Windows-based rugged tablet, I definitely give it a thumbs up and give it a go. It does take a little while in the beginning to get it all set up and get through all of the Windows updates that it needs to do. But once you get it updated and personalize it a little further, it's definitely a pretty good tablet. I've been using it with the diagnostic software on my truck and my boat, and it's been working out great. And my family and I have been using it for other reasons as well, and it's been working out pretty good. So for any of you out there that are looking for a Windows-based tablet, and you're looking for something that's a little bit more rugged, that you can use outdoors without worrying about dropping it or breaking it, because you want something that's a little bit more well-built for a rugged outdoor setting, I definitely recommend checking out this Windows-based rugged tablet. But that's going to be it for today's video. I hope this video helps some of you out. Do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button and like this video. If you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the comments section and I'll get back to you when I can. And also do me a favor, subscribe to the channel because it definitely helps me out and I greatly appreciate it. So that's it. I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you. Thank you. I truly appreciate you all. And as always, see you in the next video.